What's up, guys? Today we're answering another El Classique question. What object smells the best? Out of 16 random gosh darn options. You know, folks, this one, some pretty high production value went into it. We pre-selected the 16 options out of the infinite plus one options for smells in the universe. I got with my three best, closest, and only friends. And each of us did a NFL draft style picking of our top 5 contenders, and then I just eliminated 4 of those 20 because I'm a piece. Anyways, maybe should have just done top 4 for each. Right off the bat, man, this one's gonna be a tough one, man. It's gonna be a lot of opinions from a man with not a lot of knowledge, frankly. I would say my sense of smell is god-awful. Not just because I had Corona like 8 times, but even before then, just pretty useless. Might have been like a survival mechanism, living in my own room and own filth for so long. I just had to adapt, like a naked mole rat losing vision because they have to, look at their like fellow mole's butt every day as they're crawling through the caverns. Anyways, all right. First up, these pictures may be a little less obvious than the logos of last time. This is a new book smell versus citrus. Now there was an executive decision made to go with citrus instead of like orange, lemon, or any specific citrus, because frankly they all smell like kind of the same, and there's not that much space. Okay, I feel like new book smell is a safe pick here. I feel like everybody is enjoying it, at least the literate among us. And there's often some nostalgia with the smell, and this all holds true for me as well. However, citrus is a different beast. I think some people, and at times myself, have kind of like an adverse nasal reaction to getting a little citrus up in there. I don't know. It's a little sharp smelling for sure. But I think it was started. I started wrestling, right? And oh man, like I thought like football got me like nasty and sweaty, but like, bro, I'm covered in gosh darn ringworm after wrestling, bro. It's like I need a deep clean, and something psychological about using a citrus smelling body soap / wash, bro. It felt like the clean was deeper. Like it actually felt like it was attacking the fungi and bacteria that was taking home in my residence in my gosh darn skin. So I do like citrus smells. I've come around on them semi recently. But new book is a classic smell, and it again, I think a lot of these are going to be kind of a binary of one's up in your face, vying for your attention, and the other is just a little pleasant little song humming in the background of your brain. Man, oh man, I don't know, something about, like, I'll be honest, it's something about this picture I've found of I don't even know what kind of person this is. Sex, gender, religion, etc. But this human, it really makes me want to see them like here. Like I just want to just say you win because I love your little nose. And yeah, I think they're not even gonna make it to the second round. I think I actually prefer a citrus over a new book smell. I don't know. New book smell is like it. Also, what's sad about a new book smell is how fast it fades. What I would honestly prefer, what I think might beat citrus, and which isn't on this list ridiculously, because I guess, again, I only choose like a fourth of it. I think old book smell is actually better than new book smell. Medium book smell is no smell, and it's a little like it's a little U shape of smell, and but man, because that old smell, it lasts forever. It just keeps getting better over time. And I don't know, it's a bit more earthy rather than just like pulpy. You smell that like that factory wood versus like rotting wood, and I think I like a little rot. So with that, I'm going to go with citrus for the dub here. All right. Next, we got we got a new car smell. Although this woman seems to not be enjoying the new car smell, this is supposed to be a pleasant thing. And then if it's not obvious, this is probably just wasting my breath. But this is the next image is the smell of fresh cut grass. A little fun fact that I don't even really know, but I think I know, is that the reason fresh cut grass smells so different than just grass is because it's releasing a chemical that's hey, grass, we're all gonna die. I don't really know why it does that. I don't know. Maybe you guys could look it up, do a little Wikipedia surfing. Maybe learn a bit today. But yeah, I think it is it's like a little chemical release telling people to watch out. I don't know how grass really watches out, even if they're warned. I think they just kind of die anyways. So maybe kind of a bad decision on evolution's part. But either way, fun fact for ya. Maybe it's just I'm showing my hand in my economic relative lack of privilege, but I'm not really smelling new car smell that often, frankly. Honestly, I'm not smelling fresh cut grass smell that often, and that's just because I live in a semi-desert. But I'm thinking there's probably 3 times, and only one of those has been my family's car that have been in a new car smell. A lot of times it's you're getting a rental from the airport, and then it's they made you wait for 6 hours because even though you reserved a car, they were oh, sorry, your reservation actually is just a suggestion for us, and we didn't actually reserve it. But since you waited 6 hours, look, you get to drive the new car in our fleet. And it's that is decent, honestly. It's not that I value my time. It's not like it is my vital force or anything. No problem, rental car company. I don't mind waiting a little. Man, I feel the energy that these smells give me. I feel smells really invoke do you have a taste? I feel taste just that tastes good. You have a smell. It's not just it smells good. It's I feel a certain way now, and it's fresh cut grass. It really does feel the Monty Python song "I'm a Lumberjack" before he before halfway through when he just kind of shows his own little hand there. Whereas new car smell, it feels like I'm a big baller. It really does. I mean, maybe that's obvious to say, but I think it's obvious because it's true. I feel like I have stacks when I'm in a car that smells fresh, when it smells new. It doesn't the leather and the upholstery in the car just kind of look nicer when it smells better. It could actually have a tear in it, but it's your eyes just would block that stuff out if it smells good, bro. It's just my god, the seat kind of clean right now. I want to put my face on it, and you don't because it's that's where butts go. But it's you consider it. I don't really know if that's a plus or a minus. The call of the butt face seat that a new car smells gives you. Man, it's actually tough. I was really thinking I was gonna go cut grass here, and I might still, but man, I do feeling a powerful individual, man. And not a lot of smells really give you that. Not a lot of things in life give you that, frankly. Besides actual power, of course. I don't know. It's a little too. It feels a little bit too like an act, though. Fresh cut grass is the reality of nature. It's the reality of the circle of life that things die, and I enjoy that process. And I don't enjoy the process of a car slowly dying and depreciating in value. So I got to go with what I enjoy. So I'm gonna go with fresh cut grass. Honestly, I think I don't know. I think I've overthought this one, honestly, because if you just think about it in your head, do the classic Chick-fil-A Cane's strat. If you just say it out loud, of course, fresh cut grass smells better than a new car. A new car is just actual like bleach they sprayed on the windshield to make you pay like $100 extra for it. Okay, next to again some really obvious pictures, but just in case you're a blind person listening to this. This man who's stuck the Sharpie through his nose, tongue, and lip is, of course, just Sharpie smells. And then this woman who's eating a sponge is not just Fairy Liquid. Fairy Liquid, I think most people have Fairy Liquid, but in case you don't, it's just like a soap brand. But specifically, Apple Fairy Liquid. Very important, I'm told. I don't actually know. Again, I can't smell a gosh darn thing. I'm doing this entire list nose blind. Anyways, Sharpie's one of these classics, like gasoline. It's on this list, like glue, which we'll get to later. Nail polish, which we'll get to very soon. It is kind of a good smell. Yeah, but like heroin also is a good feeling, you know. So it's for the freaks. It's for the people who look like this to enjoy. Let's be frank, you know. There's just the societal outcasts who enjoy a nice sad little Sharpie high. I think to a lot of us it does kind of smell like poison, which it is. But let me just make a case for the weirdos, right? Like okay. There's two types of people in this world, right? Here's person, oh God, no. Person A, and this is their nose, and here's their body, and if they hold their Sharpie and it's literally this, they're literally just like, let me paint my nostrils black. Okay, that's one type of person. I think those people are not missing out. I mean, they're really getting everything out of that gosh darn Sharpie. But it's like their lack of self-control and discipline is the reason that the Sharpie smell has the kind of like not the hatred, but it's looked down upon if you're like a normal person, because you think, oh, that's this kid. I don't want to be him, so I gotta say I hate the Sharpie smell. But if you're a normal dude with hair and stuff, and you're just writing on your piece of paper, this is a school desk, with your Sharpie, and you're writing like hi, right? Just kind of lean your little head down. Look at this posture, right? This is key posture. Just kind of do the little thing where you put like your elbow on the both elbows on the desk and your head like an inch away from the desk. Just like maybe you're a little sleepy in class. Maybe you just like you came back from recess and you know everything's a little sore. But either way, it's like you can get the slightly dispersed Sharpie smell as it has to travel through the medium of the air. Again, it's only like 2 inches of air. Like you're not actually that far from this individual in reality, but from outlooker, right? So in reality, pretty equal almost. Let's do the correct mathematical symbol. Pretty equal. But if you're a third party looking at this, these are eyes, versus looking at this, it's not even close. This is Jesse Pinkman. This is Walter White before he broke bad, you know. And so what am I saying with all of this? Honestly, I don't have a gosh darn clue. It's just be smarter about how you enjoy your vices. Frankly, we live in a judgy world. Make sure you're not giving people more reasons to judge you. I ran out of gosh darn like backs. I gotta erase. Guess that's just a million times faster, anyways. But okay. Let me just clean up here. All right. So that all being said, I don't think Sharpie is just a freak choice. I don't think it's just oh, I'm devious. Oh, I'm a bad boy, right? I think even a good boy can like a Sharpie smell. Now Fairy Liquid and Soap Liquid and Apple Fairy Soap Liquid is literally like, hey mom, I'm a good boy. I love doing the dishes. I love cleaning muck off of plates. I enjoy that. Honestly, I think it kind of goes the opposite, right? If you're a dude or a dudette, and you're washing, your plates in the sink, and you're getting like, oh, little bubbles, and it's a little soap commercial for you and your little house, and you're like, ha ha ha, I love fairy liquid. Who's gonna tell them? Like, you are a stock photo person. Your name is Bill. Like, what I want to see is quite the inverse. I want to see you just holding a bottle of fairy liquid open, squeezing it hard. These are your hands squeezing the bottle, and just pouring kind of a lot of soap on your nose, and being just like, I love fairy liquid. If you did that, oh my god, I would be like, wow, this guy can get what he wants. This guy can take what he needs. I haven't really talked about the actual merit of each smell, just kind of giving some advice for you guys at home if you happen to be an enjoyer of either of these smells. So now let's get back to me. As mentioned, I'm not the Sharpie bad boy that just loves a dirty Sharp in the nose. But I'm also not a little goody two shoes. So this one's tough for me because it's the kind of cult following that each has. I don't subscribe to any of them, right? I'm kind of a rogue sniffer on the Sharpie fairy liquid debate. So I think I have to go more objective. And although I think it doesn't really raise the stakes in the same way a lot of these other smells on the list do, a fairy liquid smell is just really pleasant. So I got to go with them. But not out of, no, I'm not I'm not a hater, right? I'm not going to judge you if you say Sharpie. Just let me see when you're smelling the Sharpie, then I'll judge you, right? Let me see how that happens. Anyways, okay, this woman is kind of probably the hardest to tell, honestly. She's sniffing some nail polish, and this woman is really enjoying what looks to be like a duvet cover. This is meant to be laundry directly out of. I have my sheet of paper here. Yeah, close 2 seconds post dryer. Okay, so yeah, okay. Again, we have a similar dynamic. It's like, oh, I love chores versus like I make my daily life into an obstacle course of chemical imbalance and permanent brain damage, right? Oh, am I painting my nails or am I a drug addict? You decide, right? But I love the smell of nail polish in the morning. Again, there's an obvious thing I have to acknowledge here, frankly. I'm not really often smelling either of these smells, frankly. I don't paint my nails ever, and I don't do laundry ever. Not because someone else does it, just because, again, as aforementioned, I'm nose blind because my body, clothes, and room all stink to high heaven because I don't do my own laundry very often, if at all, frankly. We've went years before. We're also talking about, there also needs to be said something about, we're not just comparing smell to smell here. Because clothes out of the dryer, 2 seconds post, as is specified, you also have a temperature kind of a deal happening with you, right? You get the tactile hold of the clothes as she's enjoying, and the smell. And even if you touch your nose a little bit with it, maybe your chin, maybe your lips, you have that little heat, and it's a soft heat. It's an inviting heat, and it makes you want to smell further. And the deeper you smell, the more you touch, and the more you touch, the more you want to smell. So it's a classic little positive feedback loop over there. Um, well, where obviously, I accidentally touched my nail polish. Now I got a little like paint on my nose. Now I got like I touched some cold plastic. Interacting with nail polish is not the same kind of pleasant experience as drier clothes. Now, this is a smells list, not an experience list. So I can't, say that makes every difference in the world. But, when a smell's easy to get to, when a smell helps you smell it, you appreciate that. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Of all these on the list, though, I know I've been kind of holding the flag for the Sharpie freaks. I don't know if I can do the same about a nail polish, about acetone, about all these things. Maybe it's because I don't interface with them often enough that I haven't kind of, had enough exposure to tolerate them. It's like a lot of nasty, bitter food. They say, oh, you just gotta try it a lot, and then you'll learn to not hate it. But frankly, I'm still, again, I see that it's still a little enticing. Something in my brain wants to do what I know is bad for me, and smell the nail polish real deep. But even when I give in, which I do often, honestly, almost every time I'm around nail polish, at least once I fully sniff it as hard as I can, because I have no self-control. But it's not that rewarding, honestly. It's not a process where I'm like, okay, like I'll never do it again. Catch me tomorrow doing it again, right? Because it was worth it. It was worth the punishment. This is like, like maybe I actually won't. Anyways, all right. This is probably the worst picture I've found. Frankly, the nose is not even visible. Is she even smelling it, or is she smelling her collar? You can't tell. Also, this is meant to be brownies not served to you, but pulled out of the oven, right? So caveat, this picture is completely inaccurate. I apologize. Google Images was really lacking. I promise I did try. Versus, the picture says everything. I'll be honest, before I did this process with my friends, I did not know about this phenomenon. I do have dogs at my family home, not with me currently. My parents do have some. Apparently, dog feet smell good. I did a little research before this. Apparently, they smell like Fritos, which is weird because I know what Fritos smell like, and I wouldn't really say they smell good either. I know what dog smells like, and I'm not a fan of dog smell. I'm not that big of a fan of dog any sense, honestly. Looks obviously the best, but kind of loud, kind of some are really soft, but then a lot are really sheddy, and you sit in the couch, and now you're actually sitting on like a hairbrush comb, But honestly, worst of all of those is probably smell. I really don't like a dog smell. A wet dog, a dry dog, hot dog, cold dog, wiener dog. No kind of dog is smelling good to me. And I can't imagine the feet, the things that I actively see them digging their own feces with, is smelling that good. Even this lady, she looks a little surprised. She's like, ew, this eye is like, ew, this eye is like, hey, that kind of smells like a Frito. And this mouth is smiling like, haha, into that funny that my dog's feet smell like a Frito. This side of the mouth is remembering that she doesn't even like Fritos to begin with. We'll talk more about brownies. This, I'll be honest, maybe this is unprofessional, but this was kind of a buy round for brownies. It's the foot of a dog. versus a delicious, tasty treat. It's not gonna. It's not a close competition. All right. I kind of got on a little baby focus on the next few, as you can see. This is literally just the smell of a human infant to like very small toddler, aka a baby. And here, maybe a little tricky. This is a strip of bacon held by this little child. There were much better pictures of adults smelling bacon, but I don't know. I like this little boy, frankly. Okay. Wow, this is a tough one. Honestly, I haven't even thought about it really. I'm already overwhelmed. I'll start with bacon, right? Bacon is so many of these smells, you get a satisfaction as you're smelling it, right? Bacon, you almost get more satisfaction from the suspense of smelling it, from the is that bacon? It like 4 rooms away. You know what I mean? It's almost like the suspense is better than the payoff. Which maybe sounds like it means bacon doesn't smell that good because once you're actually smelling it, that's not what's that exciting. But I don't actually think that's true. I think actually just bacon smells really good as well. And I think a lot of people hate on the bacon smell because of that, right? They say, oh, no, you just are excited to get the bacon in the future. But if you just smelled bacon and couldn't eat bacon, you wouldn't be happy. I mean, okay, that's true. But it's like, if I smell bacon, I'm like, why is there bacon that I'm not eating? But if hypothetically, which is not hypothetical, you smell like a bacon product, and I do not mean like a bacon, like, oh, a pig's in a blanket kind of product. I mean like a bacon shampoo, or like a bacon soap, or like a bacon like car freshener. They kind of smell good. And they're not even close to real. They haven't, like, the scientists at car little tree factories, air fresheners, are they should all be fired, frankly. They're doing a horrible job simulating the bacon smell. And yet it's maybe hold off on the layoffs because they're getting there, and it's already working. I know it's a bit, some people can find this is a divisive one. I think a lot of people will find the actual just smell of bacon, even if they like the taste of it, but just the isolated smell of bacon, a little off-putting, right? Admittedly, it smells like what bacon is: fat, grease, little charred, little charcoal, little that smoky smell. So if you I don't know, don't like good things, I could see why you don't like the smell of bacon, right? I can understand that. So there's not. I don't really have too many critiques for the smell of bacon, but maybe just to humble it a little bit, to not be a complete bacon head. I will say that the suspense is better than the payoff, and it's kind of, it's one of those things that, like, because of the other parts of the experience, i.e. eating the bacon, you do kind of forget about it, if you're being honest with yourself. If someone just asks you, do you love the smell of bacon? You're like, of course, but when was the last time you were just, oh yeah, that smells so good? Not that often, because you're focused on the taste, which again is similar but opposite to the laundry experience, right? Where you have this heat that makes you think you like the smell more. The taste, it doesn't draw you in the same way. It takes you out of the smell, and it focuses you on your mouth. People are much more, people can feel and smell a lot easier than they can taste and smell, frankly. One's a support. Smell and touch can kind of be, 2 equal parts working together. One's taken over. Either you're focusing on your smell or you're focusing on your taste. And frankly, with bacon, we all know what it is. You're focusing on your taste, which makes sense. Bacon is amazing. Let's go to babies. Markedly less tasty Although maybe look more delicious if you're a freak like me. I see a baby, bro. I want to chomp. I want to squeeze. I want to crush them with my teeth and hands. With love, obviously, of course. I love babies. The smell of a baby, it's one of those things where it's easy to describe it in metaphor. It smells like a blanket. Smells like a cotton field. It smells like a cloud on a warm, sunny spring day. But it's hard to really to pin down something that actually has a smell. Of course, a cloud on a warm spring, sunny day. What does that even mean at all? So a real analogous smell, I don't know if it exists. Honestly, you don't. Nobody's spraying baby perfume, and I think there's a reason for that. I think evolutionarily, there's probably some little chemicals, little hormones going on that when you smell a baby, there's something special about it. Makes you want to protect it, makes you want to hold it. As you see, this woman is enjoying a deep sniff of the forehead, and the baby's enjoying being held, although maybe a little shocked about how the amount of suction created by the woman's nostril on his head. Maybe slight pain in those eyes. Maybe. It's hard to tell, frankly. Again, I don't want to be a broken record, but guys, you thought eating bacon was a distraction to the smell? Have you seen a baby? It's like as cute as you get. They're babies. So of course the whole experience of a baby, assuming it's a positive one, right? And we'll get to that assumption, right? Everything about that is positive. So the smell seems angelic and it seems perfect, but really you're just in a perfect mood. And if you're in a perfect mood, you could smell you could smell a good book to pick one that's not moving on to the next round and think it's the best smell in the world. It really, mood affects it big time. So the baby puts you in the mood to receive the smell. I think it is definitely true. Now let's talk about that assumption I made. Assumption that everything's going right. Let's be honest. With babies, that's a big assumption. Oh, dirty diaper, peed himself, just crying, grabbing, teething. A little bit of upchuck could ruin spoil a perfectly good interaction with a baby in 3 seconds flat. So a lot of times you're not gonna, anytime you bake brownies, they smell like brownies and they smell good. Anytime you crack open a bottle of fairy liquid, it's gonna smell like soap and it's gonna smell good. Babies, they can be your best friend or your worst nightmare. Now, does that elusivity make it better? Maybe it makes it even more impactful and meaningful when you get a good, just sleeping, cute, soft baby to smell. Or does the frustration almost make the reward a little duller? If someone just gave you $100 for no reason, that would feel really great. But if you had to work for a year for that $100, you'd be like, this ain't even worth it anymore. You'd be angry. You'd be like, I want more. Maybe the smell of a baby, although good, isn't worth it, right? So sorry, little buddy, you might just not be worth it. You might just have to go back to the lab and try again next year. Pop that boy back in the oven for a little while. I'm not. I think you could think that if you're like a never birther, an only child, I think those type of people might be more likely to subscribe to that belief system. I don't. I would say babies are worth it, and we shouldn't completely throw them out with the bathwater. If you can't tell, I'm stalling because I love these two guys. I love babies and I love bacon. Frankly, I love a baby with bacon, obviously. Man, There's something room filling about bacon. That baby is so intimate. You have to get so close. Look at her. Look at her. She's suction on the forehead, bro. That's how close she has to be. But again, both everything about them, the room filling, the intimacy, it's like those are both positives, just positive in different ways, right? I mean, these guys are really they're going punch for punch here, and I don't know who's going to win. Man. I think I have to do what I've been trying to avoid because I don't think I can do it based on the smells alone. I think I have to think about the experiences, right? You know, you wake up in the morning, your spouse made you some bacon. For the first time in a month, you actually feel like you love her. That's a good morning, man. That's a good morning, man. And this bacon, it's almost like, for what? For what do I deserve this treat? Whereas a baby, it's like, again, it's you know, you're stressed out, you're sleep deprived, but it's that little reminder that it's like, this is why you're doing it, you know? It is the surprise versus the reward for hard work. Man, I'll be honest with you guys. As much as I'm a hater of dog feet, the idea of smelling a baby's feet just entered my brain. And after considering that, it's no longer close. The babies have won. I apologize, Bacon. Again, put you somewhere else in this bracket, and you might go second, third round. But as it worked out, you didn't make it to the next round. I apologize. Okay, we have another baby here. Not a baby-focused smell. This might just look like a little kid putting her head into a shrub. This is actually a Christmas tree, if you can imagine that. So this is not just tree smell, but Christmas tree smell. Obviously natural Christmas tree, because plastic smells like nothing. And this is not bourbon. This is women's perfume. A very classic smelly smell, as it's meant to do nothing but smell. Also, a very flowery smell, which has reminded me that many people are saying flowers are the McDonald's of smells. It literally is even the backdrop for the smells, and yet somehow neither I nor any of my friends thought to say flowers for things that smell good. So I think women's perfume is the best we got, unless if you think about actual similar smells. But maybe you go the biological mindset and you think what's closest to a flower, maybe grass, maybe a tree. So we got the two imposter flowers in a little fight here. Okay, I'm gonna address a few things. I think both of these are the cause of a lot of harm for a lot of people. I think the amount of people who are allergic to Christmas trees is substantial, meaningful, and it can't be ignored when rating its smell. If that smell causes runny noses and coughs and congestion across the globe, it's like, is that a great smell? It's hard to say that it is, if it's hurting so many in such a deep, devastating way. But have you been running on a track in middle school and the girl in front of you is wearing way too much perfume and you can swear for 20 seconds before you pass her that you have just developed and maxed out asthma? Oh my God, some of these kids, I know this goes with cologne as well than just perfume. Oh, buddy, man. Buddy. I know it's played out. I know every little sitcom on the Disney Channel has an episode where one of the main character, normally a side character, puts a little too much perfume on, or deodorant on, or cologne, and they're stinking up the whole facility, the whole complex. of the school. But it's a trope because it's real, man. It does, in the same way that the pandemic of allergens spread through Christmas trees tarnishes the Christmas tree smell name. So does the overusers of perfume and cologne tarnish the name of them, right? That being said, if you do find someone who does a little, just, maybe a little squirt on the wrist, rubs the wrist into the neck, maybe a little collarbone, a little clavicle action goes on there, and it's just subtle enough, it can be like, wow, this hug, it feels like I'm hugging a rose bush with no thorns. That's pretty nice. You can't complain too much about that one. And you can't separate the Christmas tree from the holiday, which is it's coming up in 2 days now. Frankly, I'm getting in the spirit, thinking about Christmas tree smells. It does do something for me. Although sadly, my family, for the majority of my life, when I was celebrating Christmas with them, was a plastic tree family. Not for allergies, honestly, just because of laziness. Let's be honest. And price and all those kind of other factors. So for me personally, it's not something I've interacted with that much. That being said, it's something I'm familiar with, right? It's something I know. Man, I gotta be honest with you though. The Christmas tree smell is not the strongest smell on this list in terms of how pungent it is, how much it takes you. But it doesn't spread in a room in the swelling sense that a bacon does. Bacon feels like it explodes in a room. A Christmas tree kind of settles, right? It settles its little smelly spores all throughout your living room, right? In December. And every little thing has just a hint of Melikliki Maka, of a little, what is that? Oh, it's a little Jingle Bells. Oh, it's a little Feliz Navidad. Just a hint of magic, right? In every little remote controller, every coaster, every little random object and toy and present in your living room in December has hey, the Christmas tree really is one of the most powerful support smells, I would say, right? It doesn't say, look at me at all. It says, look at everything else, and aren't they all so wonderful? And I think perfume might be the biggest antithesis of that. Perfume is like, I'm beautiful, I'm smelling good, I'm important, I'm powerful, I'm a girl boss, a boy boss, like I am successful. And frankly, perfume, I don't think you're successful at that mission. I think you display overconfidence more than real confidence, and for that reason, Christmas tree and little girls who smell them are going to move on, and not you. Okay, the next two are two controversial picks. The fact that they even made the list, I think, is going to upset some people, and I think it might upset them more to see if they get farther along. Here you can see Charlie, Day, and Mac looking at a bottle of Elmer's glue as Charlie sniffs it. This is, of course, the smell of glue. And then this man assaulting his family with his stench and his physicality. Let's be honest. He belongs in prison. This is a man's musk. What I mean by that is, the definition of the gosh darn word. It's sexual and or other pheromones and BO emitted, by a burly big boy, by a man, by a dad, by a father, by a parental guardian. It's 20% sweat, 80% beard. Let's be honest. Some people might find it literally this might win some people's list for worst smells. I'll be honest. Some people hate it. They can't stand a little BO. I agree if you get too much BO, the wrong kind of BO, if those bacteria are going wild on every crevice and armpit on your body and eating away at the nutrients and releasing the gases that they do, and you get that kind of BO, that's bad. But if it's not the bacteria releasing the smells, but if it's your actual human body, bro, yo, he just came back with milk, and you're happy to see him. You know what I mean? That is pleasant, man. A groomed man who also works hard, who also has a little dewdrops of sweat on his hairy forearms. Ooh, buddy, I'm feeling secure already. I'm feeling safe from burglars and bears already. That being said, I feel like I have to give a little support for a man's musk, because I know a lot of people are going to be raising eyebrows at it. So I feel like I have a duty to it, of responsibility maybe, to give it a little bit of love before I critique it. Now let's critique it as I compare it to glue. Now glue, I think a lot of you know what's happening here. We have a very similar situation to Sharpies here. You knew the kid. It was often the exact same gosh darn kid. Sometimes at the same time. One nostril Sharpie, one nostril glue. Just huffing and a puffing in the back of the classroom. Also, a lot of people I know do more than just smell glue. I don't want to name names, but people eat it. They eat the gosh darn stuff. Especially Elmer's, bro. They throw that back every day. I'm gonna say something though. I think if you're eating the stuff, you're going about it all wrong. For one, it's disgusting. 2, it's glue. 3, you look like an idiot. I would also see kids do this. Like these are so that's oh, I'm the little freak. Right? I eat glue. Right? Cool. Okay. Go in you're in a corner because you're the glue eater. Get in there forever. Right? But again, same dynamic. You're at school. You're a functioning member of society. Maybe class president. Maybe you got a girlfriend. Maybe life's going really well for you. Maybe you're like the star of the kickball team. And you're thinking, oh, I'm a little suave. You have a little pompadour. And you're like, haha, I know what I love to do. Let's say this is your hand, and then let's blow that image up. Right? This is the blown up image. Here's your wrist. Here's your hand. I would see kids do this all the time. You might be like, what are you talking about? That's a thumb, by the way. Every gosh darn day I would see another kid. They would come in with their other hand, and this is the glue bottle. And they would just put a bunch of glue on their hand. On the back of their hand, front of their hand, anywhere on their hand. Why? Why would anyone do such an insane thing? If you've done it, or if you've seen it done, you know exactly why. It leaves, this is the residue. It leaves just like a square or whatever shape you did it in. Residue of glue. And then you take their little hand and they peel that off. And you're left with for one, just the peeling process is nice, but then you have just a sheet of glue. This is glue, a sheet of hardened glue, peeled directly from your skin, and that's kind of good. I can't really explain why it's good, but it really is. The sheet's good, the peel is good, the smell is good. Honestly, you can just smell this thing directly now. You have just a permanent little non-scratch sticker that smells. Now, I think that's a misplay, because although you think you look like this, to a lot of us normies and smart people, you look like this. You're not that different than this kid in the corner who's just guzzling the glue. I'll give him a little glue bottle so he's not so hungry, right? Boom. So he's just guzzling that glue. What you do instead, right? You do your assignment. Here's your assignment. Doop, 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 doop. Here's a little box. We have to glue a thing. Okay, here's your glue bottle. You've glued it, right? What always happens? There's a little just glue residue, right? Now, there shouldn't really be that much glue residue if you don't use too much glue. If you just do like, because they always say, okay, here's your sheet of paper, do like dot, 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 and that's enough glue. Not if you want a lot of glue residue. You gotta cover that thing, just in a cake glue on. So that when you actually press the piece of paper down on like the larger piece of paper, it presses, and then there's like just glue. There's just a puddle of glue that pushes around it as you press it onto the paper, right? That's how much glue you need to use, and then you'll get a massive just ton of glue residue at the end of that bottle. What you do is you just take your thumb. Here's your thumb as part of your massive hand, right? And you wipe that glue residue onto your hand, onto your thumb. And it's just like, oh, I'm just a responsible guy who wipes the glue residue off my glue bottles because I love my teacher. Miss Bollinger is so nice, I would never leave a dirty glue bottle in our classroom, ever. And in my bad, I used a little too much glue gluing the paper. I'm just bad at judging volumes of glue. You're so far from this kid. You are, oh my God. Like, you look like you're taking SAT in 4th grade, bro. Like, you're a genius. Plus, be happy because you have a little glue residue on your thumb now. Although it's not as cool as like that big sheet you could get from the back of your hand, now it's just, you still have like a little glue globulin that you can do whatever you want with. You can play with it. You can peel it off your thumb, of course. That's step one to playing with it. And you can get a nice smell of it afterwards. And no one's gonna really notice because it's not that big. You didn't have to create it. You have to do something super obvious, like put it on the back of your hand, or just gosh darn guzzle this stuff like a freak. So I really think that's a pretty ideal way of going about it. Again, it has barely anything so tangentially related to the actual smell of glue. But I think I should use this platform as a way to help you guys out. If you're struggling, if you're in school, and you need a little help how to get away with being a glue guzzler. I'm just going to ignore the fact that I'm erasing that picture. That's kind of sad. Nothing to do about that. Let me just get that out of there. All right. All right, cleaning up here. Okay, so now that that's been covered, God, I almost forgot completely what we're doing here, in general. Okay, we're judging smells. I didn't even really know glue smelled, to be honest. I know I've just talked about it for so long, but come on, guys. I get it can, if you're not using Elmer's glue, you can get high on glue. And if you're using like real glue, non-Elmer's glue, it does smell, but it smells like, oh my God. This is so true. Okay, you're in classroom, right? Oh no, this is a very classroom inspired episode for you guys. And you have the erasers that are like this, right? And they're always these little trapezoids, right? And they're pink. This is pink. These are like, oh, cool, like thumbs up. That's yeah, thumbs up. Great. Then you'll go into like, so that's like regular school. Regular school, you have those. Then you go into like the art classroom, and they just have just plain old rectangular prisms, right? And they're yellow, bro, yellow. And for some reason, all of them, some like little glue guzzler took a pencil. This is the little eraser and a pencil. This is the lead. And they just stabbed this thing over and over again. So if you look at like this is like the top of it. It's just covered in holes with like, and each hole is like lead colored. God, those things smelled horrendous. Those were really disgusting smelling. That is what like real glue smells like. It smells like those little rubber things, because these were really just like real rubber instead of this pink stuff that just flaked off really easily. And this one was much like squishier and like, I don't know, if you tried to pull it, like this one, if you pulled it, it would just rip in half. If you pulled it hard enough. This one, your finger's gonna rip in half because it's so elastic. Anyways, so given that they smell like an object which smells bad, I actually don't. I don't even remember who said glue in my friend group. But if I remember, they're out of the friend group. Again, this is another buy round for Man's Musk. Sorry, not sorry to the Man Musk haters out there. I can't deny I'm a lover of it. Okay, next round. Finally. Going back to the top left, we got citrus. I didn't even read it addressed. I have no idea why this woman's naked, by the way. I apologize. There were much better images, but I couldn't resist. Versus fresh cut grass. Man, I feel like it's been so long since I thought about actual smells rather than like ridiculous things like glue. That it's kind of nice to be back, man. It's like my brain's like, hey, those things both sound pleasant instead of kind of gross. Cool. Man, you know what my perfect day would be? My perfect day would be not mowing the grass, because that's like a lot of work, but like just going out to a lawn with pre-mowed grass and then just kind of like not rolling around in it because that would get you all itchy and stuff, but just spending a little enough time with it that you get a little sweaty and a little gross. And maybe you get your hands dirty because your hands don't get really itchy. If you see a man scratching his hands, he's a crackhead. He's not actually having itchy hands. And then when I'm all a little sweaty, a little dirty, all grassed up, going home, just cover myself in citrus shampoo, not shampoo, soap. I have realized, though, I have been really giving a lot of credit to artificial citrus, and not as much to real citrus, which, I mean, frankly, that is technically what the thing is. I think people who know me well as a man who doesn't enjoy a lot of citrus fruits. I've had like maybe 2 oranges in my entire life. I've bit on a couple lemons to my own dismay. 2 seconds later, when it was in fact gross and too sour for me. Limes are only meant to go with coconuts and not real fruit you can ever eat. However, I do like sitting with someone who eats an orange. Even though I don't like it, well, again, okay, there's actually the smell I like sitting next to someone eating orange. Now, I don't like being in their splash zone, that they were trying to peel that thing, for some reason, not carefully at all, but angrily and as fast as possible with the force of Zeus. They're squirting orange juice in my gosh darn eye. But if you're eating with someone who's not an idiot and can eat an orange properly and can peel it properly, it's kind of pleasant. They're also nice to look at. Oranges, I know this is, again, getting very separate in the smells, but so have we got on everything, so it's fine. You guys know what an orange looks like, I hope, but man, those little units, man, is it satisfying, just picking off one little unit of orange, slice, if you will. Man, that is nice. Wow, they look so edible, man. Oranges are one of the most edible looking things, I think, that exist. Something in your body which doesn't want to get scurvy looks at an orange and thinks, wow, that is what food looks like. Either that or it's like the cartoon advertisements for cereal and stuff where everything was super brightly colored that we all watched when we were kids that make super bright things like oranges look so tasty. But anyways, I do like that smell, but I think an artificial citrus smell gets rid of a lot of the sharpness that a natural citrus smell doesn't, because it's natural, right? There's something a little stinging in your nose when you're next to when you're too close to an orange. I'll be honest. I could shove some grass up my nose, and it's never going to be too strong for me. I mean, I'm always going to enjoy that. But so just because you have to be a little careful with it, you got to get out of the splash zone. It doesn't mean that if you're in that Goldilocks zone, it's not great. I would say it is great, both artificial and natural. They're both really good smells. Nothing, I think, even like actual man, even like dish soap doesn't smell as clean to me as just an orange does, man. I feel like I could just scrub an orange on my body, and if I would get really sticky, but then if I put water on that and wash the stickiness away, it would have picked up all of the actual the muck and dirt on my body. Okay, So, I don't know, man. This sounds bad to say, but I don't know if I want just a clean smell, though. You know? Because as we mentioned before, with the new car smell, right? A smell's about a fantasy. I don't fantasize about being clean. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of just like, oh, I want to be just every little mite and dust on my body ripped off to my pure skin. Even saying that, I feel like a freak. I don't want. Maybe I do have that fantasy, but I don't want to admit that. We're being like a little elf, being a little wood elf, a little. Let me go in my tree house and smell the fresh cut grass, like a little. Like, oh, I have like those little hats that God, I actually don't know what these are called, but they have like a brim to them, and it's like a regular hat, like a baseball cap. Then it has like these flaps on the side. These are all. This is like a one cap. These little. The little weird girl who dates Brick on the middle. She wears one of these things. But man, I would love wearing one of these little hats. This could be me. Smelling some grass, man. And I'd also like if there was like a little dirty stain on one of the flaps and maybe like a little bit of like of stuff on the brim. I'd feel great about that, honestly. But anyways, let's. I think we have to move on. Honestly, I feel like I'm not giving enough reasons because I feel like I have to support it because something in my head thinks it's wrong to put grass over citrus. But I just can't see it any other way. Maybe I have too rigid thinking, but I just can't think any other way besides fresh grass is just objectively better than a little citrus. It's that sharpness, man. That sharpness. If you're getting to this next round of smells, I don't want to say, oh, sometimes you're gross. Like, come on, man. You're supposed to be like a goated smell. Anyways, okay, apple fairy liquid versus clothes directly out of the dryer. Man, it's tough. I love the experience of taking clothes out of the dryer. I know I was joking about not doing laundry before, but it really is. That's the highlight of it. That's why you do it. I don't care about having clean clothes. I love taking them out of the dryer. Putting on that one outfit that's so warm and smells so good. Oh my God. Man, I'm feeling myself right then. But I feel like I've been percolating on the dryer smell this entire process. After I did it, I said something wasn't sitting right. I thought it's right to put it above nail polish, acetone, all that kind of stuff, but I thought I was gonna have a stronger opinion on it. When I picked this image out, when I plopped it over here, I thought, man, this guy might go all the way. But it's an experience. It's the temperature. It's everything around it. The actual smell. It's warmer, worse baby smell. That's what it is. And if you're not even the best of your kind of smell, you're not going in the next round. I don't love the smell. I mean, I kind of do love the smell of fairy liquid, to be honest. And I know I was making fun of the people who just love washing the dishes and seeing those little bubbles rise in the air. I'll be honest, I'm one of them. I don't like doing the dishes, but I do just love playing with bubbles, big time. So having not being carried by your visual stimulus / temperature tactile stimulus, but having a little support visually helps. Also, again, fairy liquid and the kind of super artificial coloring that you see in the soaps by Fairy. Something that someone went wrong in our childhood development that feels really good and natural to me. Seeing these really bright colors, it's like, yes, I want that all over my skin. Must be good for me if it doesn't look anything like what's in nature. Anyways, so kind of a quick round, but it was because I knew as soon as I was thinking about all of these, I knew something. Poor little dryer clothes. Not doing it for me today. Anyways, brownies and babies. Man, babies is has had two tough matchups versus the little buy round brownie over here. Let's touch on brownies because I know we haven't before. I think a layman would say that brownies and bacons have a similar effect. I think that's true. I think a layman would say that, but I don't actually think it's accurate to the reality of the situation. The kind of explosion that I mentioned with bacon, even when I was describing it to the Christmas tree, right? You get both in a brownie. You get the residual, you get the floating spores, and you get the explosion. When you pop it out of the oven, boom, everything's a brownie, for those few seconds, right? Watch out, you might eat your cat because you think it's the brownie because everything's got to smell like that. And you can't think about anything else besides that brownie smell. But even post that explosion, right? You get that hint everywhere, and you'll be like, oh, but the bacon has a hint. But the bacon hint isn't as pleasant as the brownie hint that you have lingering. Because a lingering bacon smells unclean. It smells a little dirty, a little greasy, because that's what it is, right? Nobody's like, oh, we need to clean up in here. It smells like brownie, right? Everyone's loving that. Everyone. People be baking brownies just to make their kitchen smell good for a week. Like, I mean, it really is, man. It's something special. I really do see brownies as a better bacon in terms of smell. I think you get a similar excitement for them coming. Maybe you might, I don't know what you prefer at home. Maybe you like bacons more than brownies. But versus just nothing, like when you wake up, you're just as excited for either of them. Maybe if you were sitting in the hallway and to your left was bacon, to the right was brownies, you would prefer the bacon. But that's not the situation that ever happens in reality. You're only getting confronted with a binary of no delicious food baked for you / cooked for you, or like some delicious food. It doesn't really matter which delicious food it is. You're excited no matter what. So I would say basically equal excitement, even if you like bacon more. And then you have that secondary positive of the long-term brownification that happens to your whole household after you bake some brownies. Now, I know I've been saying nothing but praises for the brownies, but guys, we're talking about gosh darn babies over here. Man, I love a baby. I mean, look at this. Look, the more I want to copy and paste him a couple more times just so I can keep seeing more of these little baby faces covering up my gosh darn screen. Whereas this lady, I don't know who she is, but she makes me a little uncomfortable, frankly. No offense to her, but she does. She looks shifty. She looks untrustworthy, frankly. I don't like how she's holding the brownie. A little too precarious for me. That's something to treasure, not something to risk for a photo shoot. But anyways, man, oh man, I think something happened with me. Maybe I'll look back at the decisions I'm making right now, and I will think, what is wrong with me? What was I thinking? And I'll hold myself in disgust and shame. But I don't know if these are real questions I'm asking. These are not decisions. Do I love the smell of a baby because I love the way it like grabs onto like one of my fingers, and I love how like soft their little thighs and cheeks are, and like how little they are? Like, is that just why I love it as much as I do? Or is it just like actually, okay, baby perfume, delicious. Not delicious, great smelling, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. Because you never have the isolation, it's hard to isolate it in your mind. And maybe I shouldn't. Maybe that's what I'll regret doing. Maybe I'll regret saying that, a dryer smell doesn't get the warmth of the dryer. Maybe it deserves to have that included. Maybe you deserve to get the taste of the brownie and the bacon included in it. Maybe. But to be fair, it's just not how I've been. It's just not how I've been thinking about it. I think if we're just looking at objective smells, right? I think this could. I think the way I'm thinking about it is if I was going to Corpo, right, and saying, hey, invest in this smell, make a concoction that smells exactly like this and sell it. I don't know if I would prefer the smell of a baby versus the smell of a brownie. Mm. You know what, though, man? I say I don't know, but I think I do. I think I do know. And as surprised as I am, I think I actually just prefer the smell of a baby over the smell of a brownie. Just taking out the fact that it is a baby. This smells like a hug. This smells like a cuddle. I think this smells better. I think this little guy does smell better. And I know I was talking about the caveat of you might not always get a pleasant baby smell or a pleasant baby experience, but I think there's something different between there's some times that the baby smells good, sometimes the baby smells bad, versus every time you smell like a citrus product, there's a little bit of bad within that smell. If you're having a good baby experience, there's no bad in the smell. It's all great. And I think for that reason, bro, the peak baby smell is just so good that I think it just beats a brownie just by smell. Not even experience, just smell. All right, now let's have another experience as we see if Man Musk can move on another round. Okay, Christmas tree / little baby in a bush versus Man Musk / on the large assaulter. Man, it's tough to put Man Musk above anything, honestly. That's not glue. You know what I mean? It really is. Because I know what that makes it seem like. I know it looks weird on my part. It's like, why does the man like Man Musk so much? Why does any person like Man Musk that much? Nothing to do with the fact that I'm a man, honestly. It would be weird for literally any person on this world to have the opinion that I think I do, honestly. And I think I'm a Man Musk respecter. I like my own Musk. I like another man's. And it's like, you might be like, why not just human Musk? Women just don't have it, man. Women don't have it, man. It's in the beard, bro. It's in the beard. It's in the hair. Little crevices, bro, but not too deep. Not like an armpit. Something where you have like 3, 4, 5 inches of crevice, but just a hair, just like a couple millimeters of little hide and seek for little smells to get trapped in. Ooh, and then you'd whiff of that, walking by you. Whew. Man Musk. But come on, guys. As much as I might like that whiff, I don't even know if I really like that whiff that much, honestly. And a Christmas tree does it smells like Christmas. It smells like Christmas, and Christmas smells pretty gosh darn good, man. I want to be the contrarian. I want to be the freak. I do in my heart of hearts, but a Christmas tree just smells better. It makes me happier. It's more consistent. Because again, Man Musk's like a Man Musk is like a baby, where sometimes men smell much worse than a baby even on a bad day. I would take like actual fecal matter from a baby versus like just like a day without showering from an average man. Like, men can smell real gross real fast. But so there's higher risk and less reward. If you send me a picture of this man and this baby and they say, who you sniffing? It's not this man. I'll tell you that right now. Okay. I can't believe it. We're already to the semifinals. We got fresh cut grass versus fairy liquid. Now, this is weird. I feel like it might seem like you've already done this round, because the citrus smell is very clean smell, and this is literal soap. But I think what hurt citrus is when I started realizing that it was the natural flavor, the natural smell, not the artificial smell. Where this is literally the most artificial smell in the Sky Sharn list, maybe besides like perfume. And I think in most of the cases in the world, people prefer natural over artificial. But I think this is a case where I think I prefer the artificial. I think they did a good job of getting rid of some of that not so good stuff going on there. Both of these also they have some similarities. They both have a little hint of pride in them, of a job well done. Stand on your porch, maybe with like a cold Coke or beer or water, really anything, but just a little hydration, maybe Gatorade if you need some electrolytes. And looking over your little kingdom, your little plot of the world, and seeing how nice and neat it is. Versus, standing inside in your house, looking at your nice cabinets, everything's in line, everything's in order. You know that your flatmates and partner, whoever else is sharing your kitchen space and area, has one less thing to worry about, right? So you get the pride of doing something for yourself, for your living situation, and for someone you care about as well. And you could say the same thing with the lawn, but let's be honest, there's normally one family member in each family who cares about the lawn. Everyone else doesn't even notice, but they say it looks great. That's just true. Like this feels like, look at this man. This is a meticulous man. He cares about the lawn. Nobody else is noticing this blade of grass. Not a soul. He does. This is a personal pride. Let's not talk about the actual image, what's going on here. But washing the dishes, getting a little fairy liquid on your forearms, on your wrists, that's something that the whole community, the whole village can be proud of. Man, oh man. Clean versus dirty. Internal versus external. I mean, these are... People write novels about these debates, and I'm solving these in a Gosh Darn YouTube video. Man. I gotta stop looking at that woman eating the sponge, man. It's really making me think, can it get any farther? And that is bias, and I'm never biased here. I gotta eliminate all potential sources of that, of course. I think there's a risk, right? You do the dishes, you put them away, you wash your hands one last time. They're already spotless, maybe a little too dry, not enough natural oils because you've been using so much fairy liquid. But man, you just love the smell enough that you'll wash your hands one more last time. And then your partner, your flatmate, your roommate wakes up or goes into the kitchen. I don't know why everyone's always sleeping in my stories. Maybe people are just in their rooms doing something else. And you smile, and they say hey, and you say hey, and the conversation kind of continues like that, and just talking about what's new and what's happening, and nothing much, and they get a bowl that you've just cleaned, and they pour some milk in it and cereal and all that. Of course, cereal first. And they say nothing. And they don't notice. And that smile you had, that pride you felt, you still have it. It's not gone, but it's a little diminished, right? I think relying on other people's reaction for your pride leaves yourself open to be disappointed. And maybe for someone stronger than I, that wouldn't be a downside, because no matter what someone else said, you would still feel great about it. But the lawn people is a personal endeavor that no matter what the haters say, that lawn looks nice. That smells good. you can just enjoy that and enjoy your own company for a little while. Uh, and I think that's making the difference for me. And we're gonna see freshly cut grass in the finals here. I can't believe it. Give me a little space. Okay, now time to decide who it's going up against. We got a baby, and we got a baby smelling a bush. Man, it's tough. Because the Christmas tree does something a little special. Not only does it fill the room in the same way that we've talked in depth about with brownies and bacon, but but gosh dang it, even though it's kind of artificial and Christmas is tacky and materialized, it feels a little bit like nature. You know, you get a little bit of the real world in your fake, artificial, air-conditioned world. You know, you're bringing the nature to you, and man, there's something about smelling that smell in your home, which I feel like is a real, bro, science needs to be done on this. I think it's a real mood booster to have your inside smell more like the positive aspects of the outside. You know, you feel a little less, I feel less like lonely. You know, you feel a little less like a cubicle worker who hates their job and in consequence their life, because they're so subscribed to work culture that they identify so strongly as a worker bee rather than a human being who can enjoy the world that they were born into. And man, that's a powerful feeling to upset that hierarchy, upset the oppression of the modern working individual. That's something you gotta give Christmas tree credit for. Then again, it is competing against a baby, and it's hard to think of something any more naturally pleasant than the smell of a baby. Even the great outdoors. Now there is a little bit, even it's hard to think of a baby as, in the same way as a roommate who doesn't thank you for cleaning the dishes. But a baby is another variable, right? You sit in your living room having just decorated the tree. You just sit there with the fire going, drinking maybe a little tea or hot chocolate or something like that. I know that's going to mix with the smells, but you can just sit with the ambient smell of the Christmas tree in the background. The Christmas tree is one of the most subtle on this list. So it might be hard for some people to believe it's getting this far because it's not in your face. Because if you smell a Christmas tree, you can do other things with your life besides smell a Christmas tree at that moment. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think subtlety in a smell is a bad thing at all. I think it might be a positive, frankly. Because I think a lot of the smells that smell good, even something like citrus, even an artificial type, any kind of citrusy smell or soapy smell, too much, you're done. Like you're good. It fades in quality so quick. You like a little burst of it and then you're done. Christmas tree, you can sit with that all day. And you do. You put that in your living room and you get a whole month of good smells. Man. And again, of course, if you're really thinking about, sitting alone in a room warmed by a fire, that's nice, pleasant, but cuddling with a baby, it's like cuddling with a baby wins, but it's not the cuddling, it's the smell. And it's what the smell invokes, not just what the experience as a whole invokes. And yet still, I think there's something, I think it is evolutionarily, even really trying my my honest best to separate it. Just the isolated smell of a baby really is that good. That I think it beats the Christmas tree. I do. Wow, we have the beginning of life and the deranged end of life here. In the finals, man, this one is going to be tough. But honestly, I think both candidates here have had a really a tough route. Maybe Baby a little bit more, to be honest. But no slouches here. I will also say I think these are the top two. I think there's always a risk that you'll get to where the best two are on one side, but I think these are the best two of the options here. Man, these are so incomparable. They really are. They're so different. They give such different energies and vibes. You get something something so stoic and so gritty about fresh cut grass. Now, one angle of fresh cut grass that I haven't touched on yet is there is a it's so easy to think of the not man, but just the person who has mowed the grass themselves smelling, you smelling your own cut grass. But there's also the child who goes out after the loving parent took the time to make their child's play area a little nicer. And you don't know about fear chemicals shooting out from the grass as it says, we're dying. You don't know that. You don't know what it means when your parents say they love you. Like, you get it, but you don't get it, You understand, but you don't know. And yet you don't have to. You can enjoy that bliss. There is something just a natural kind of ignorant bliss of fresh cut grass. Where a baby, when you smell a baby, it's fresh cut grass. It gets in your nose, and it says that it loves you, whether you whether you say it back or not. When you smell a baby, you say your nose, your body, your posture says, "I love you, baby." And when you inhale and you get that smell back, that's it saying it loves you too, But what's better? The structure and the unconditional nature of the always present, consistent affection of grass, specifically freshly cut, of course. Or is it the stretch and the reach to grab something so pure and so perfect, and the feeling when you actually get it in your hands, you actually hold it, like you get when you smell a baby. I think there's something sad in people that makes us. It's classic that people forget to appreciate the things that are constant in their lives, right? And yet, I don't think it's our fault. I don't think it's your fault that it's been too long since you texted your parent or your friend who cares about you, who would make their day to reach out. I don't think that's your fault. I don't think it's your fault that in your romantic relationships, as you get more comfortable, things get better, but they also get easier. And it's easier to forget holidays and anniversaries and big deals and forget to plan dates and take the time and really listen. It's easy. It's also easy to get caught up in the chase. You know, in the wanting, in the stretching, in the reaching for perfection. It's easy to get caught up in that. And I think that could be a bad thing. You know, I think it is unfortunate and bad and hurtful and cruel that the human nature forgets what's always there and is always reaching for something that it might not be able to have. But I also think it's dishonest to act like humans are any other way. I think what has made us, spread over the entire globe and now into the solar system and universe is this same desire that makes you want to lean in. Lean in to risk. Lean into maybe you won't hear it back. And that's why I have to lean into my pick. I think babies are the best smelling thing in the world. I didn't really think I would get there. I didn't think this little guy would do it. Even the first round, there was a chance Bacon could have done it. But the more I've thought, the more certain I've become that babies really are it. I think it makes sense, evolutionarily, culturally, spiritually, that we would love the smell of a baby. And I think as kind of as scuffed and as bad as evolution was, as making grass warn each other that they're about to die, considering it's completely useless and just scaring the other for no reason, I think evolution did a pretty gosh darn good job with the smell of a baby, and for that reason, I'm giving it the win. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys go sniff a baby, or mow the lawn, or do the dishes for your roommate maybe. Bake some brownies if you're okay with your calories for the week. Man. Do what you gotta do to have a few more pleasant smells. And hey, and maybe you might not have access to any of the, these kind of higher up options, but crack open a good book. Don't forget even the ones that didn't make it too far in this. They might be your favorite smells. They might be real pleasant. They might make your day, and that's good. Find what's going to make your day to day. And with that, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.